it's back to school time, and we all know that means you need to get the right supplies.
Oh, yeah, and you gotta meet your child's teacher. That's a must. That's a big thing.
Of course, but what else should you really be doing to help kids transition to a new school year? Kim Jacobs is here this morning to give us a little daily balance. Kim, it's nice to see you. It's been a little while.
Oh, yes, it has. I've missed you guys.
Yes,
actually.
we've missed you
I didn't miss you because I didn't know you, but now I miss you.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Now you can miss him. Yes. Okay, back to school. Some kids are already back in school, almost here for the rest of us. Where do we begin when we need to make that transition to back to school? You say a good starting point is talking about goals for the year ahead.
Yes, I think that if you don't discuss what your plan of action is, it's hard to come up with a plan if you don't know what the goal is. So I actually recommend that parents sit down with their children and talk about, what do you want to accomplish this school year? Do you want to get an honor roll, be on the honor roll? Do you want to be in an after-school club? Do you want, what do you desire? For example, my son Frankie, he's in the 10th grade this year. And a big thing with him is he was on honor roll last year, 3.8 grade point average, but he's in all honors classes. So this year he wants to accomplish above a 4.0. Well, if that's the case, then what are we going to do differently? We might not allow him to do an after-school job because then we know that he's striving to go to Ivy League school. So maybe what we'll do is let him focus more on his education and get some after-school assistance educationally for him. So you just want to identify what it is that they desire to accomplish that year.
Do you feel like kids are like burnt out because in the summer there's so many things that you're doing? AAU, there's so many athletic things that you got going on that now you got to get ready for school. Do you also feel like they're just burnt out and like, oh man, we got to do this?
Oh yeah, I think that a lot of children feel that way. Actually, last night I had some crying happening in my house because we're trying to get them back on task, and it's important for them to know that as the school year is approaching, you can't just like stay up all night. We let them do slumber parties down in the basement and have a really good time. It's time to kind of scale back a little bit.
A lot of parents are crying tears of joy because school can't start fast enough, I think. Another thing to remember.
We want to admit to that, right?
You say to practice the back-to-school routine starting now, maybe. Just kind of figure out how your morning is going to go.
Well, in our case, it's 2 weeks before school is starting, and I know it's different for everyone depending upon if people are homeschooling and different schools start different dates. But start immediately if you haven't already started. I started last night, and that was pretty interesting because people were literally crying. I'm like, guys, you have to go to bed so we can get in preparation for school. I recommend that people actually put the outfits out the night before, go to bed at the set time, and then even wake up at the designated time as if their bus is departing for school or if they're getting prepared for homeschool. Go ahead and wake up at that time, and even if they're still going to play right now, let them go play, but let them go play earlier because you want them to get in the mindset of being prepared for school.
So going to bed earlier.
Go to bed earlier and wake up on time as if you're departing for school. And then as far as electronics and television, I really recommend that you put a limit on that. And I have to get a key lock to my room because my children will sneak. They will sneak back in the room. I don't know why. I'm like, are you in the computer room again?
That's exactly all
That's crazy.
Right.
Well, how about a summer wish for the kids?
One thing I'd say I really recommend, too, is for a summer final wish, because I know my children, they like things like just going to swimming as a family, and that's really important to them. Just let's go to one last movie, Mom. Whatever it is that they desire to do as a family, then make sure you accomplish that as one last shindig before the summer comes to a close, and they feel like that's an opportunity to transition smoothly into the school year.
Your last hurrah of the summer, kids. Make it a good one. This is a tip that I found interesting. I've never heard of this before, and I love this idea. You suggest doing a clothing swap with friends or family.
I know in my house there are so many clothes, and my children are growing at an astronomical rate. So I recommend that maybe you get some of your friends over, whether it's your girlfriends or your male friends, and just put everything out and say, okay, guys, what are we going to do here? I can't fit this anymore. Let's swap. Maybe there's some things you can't fit. Instead of having to go and buy all new things, there may be some things that you all can exchange different styles and have a nice fashion show. And that's more of a girl thing, really.
I was going to say, no man is going to do that. No, they're not.
They're like, Mom, scrap that idea. I don't know why you said that on TV, but any girls would typically enjoy a nice little fashion show with their girlfriends or family members.
Save some money on back-to-school shopping.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Now, why is staying close to home so important?
I think that, I know for me, I travel sometimes, and my husband travels as well, so if we can make an opportunity to plan our schedules to be home during that week, it gives the children an opportunity to know that as they're transitioning to school, that first week is like a critical week. They are like determining whether they have a new friend, whether they like their teacher, whether homework is going to be intense. Oh my goodness, I'm transitioning to middle school. This is too much for me. They need emotional support is what I believe when that first week. So I really, well, they need it all year long, but that first week is critical. So I recommend parents try their best to be home.
Kim Jacobs with the Daily Balance. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, and welcome.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.